mission is to unite and support South Coast, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island writers. So we serve the 21 communities across the South Coast, and we also serve 8 communities along the strip of Rhode Island. But we've been starting to put more literary events on our calendar that we are just calling Beyond the South Coast, because people have been reaching out to us. So we didn't want to say no. So we've got some on there from Providence, and then someone reached out from Northern Massachusetts who's doing a summer retreat about how climate change is connected to, well, really more about how writers can dive into climate change. So we really didn't want to say no to that. And maybe we'll grow. But for now, we're concentrated on the South Coast area. And we wanted to do collaborative programming to share resources, because what we experienced was that a lot of writers are here. People are doing some amazing things, but no one knows about it because there's no really one place to go. Okay, and then this is really what's in our hearts, okay? We want to be connected. We want people to feel like they can be a writer at whatever level they're at, and this is when Mark chimes in.
Yeah, I think the important thing is that anybody can write, and that's really the message we want to get across. You know?
Do you want your mic?
Yeah. So my message is anybody can write. Anyone in this room, anyone you know can write. It's just something you just need to put your mind to and get involved. But we provide the support. We provide a network. We provide ongoing get-togethers just to sit and write together. We have public events, and we're just promoting the art of writing in general in South Coast Mass and Rhode Island.
Great, thank you. And something that we encounter on a pretty regular basis is that people come in and they say, well, I'm not a writer because I'm not published, which has absolutely nothing to do with it, right? It's like saying, I'm not a runner because I don't do a marathon, or I'm not a walker because I don't do a marathon, right? We can all walk, we can all run, and we can all write. So a little bit about the literary calendar history that I was talking about before. We started in July of last year, so brand new. We did get some small amount of grant funding from these towns, so we definitely wanted to say thank you to Mattapoisett, New Bedford, Rochester, Somerset, Taunton, and Westport, because they are providing, both last year and currently, the foundation for the calendar to be maintained and to grow. Because we're doing the work of looking for the venues, connecting with people, which we're very happy to be doing. We're also happy to have some grant funding supporting us. And a few statistics, again, since July, 3,300 page views. And then just this year in 2026, we've got 1,600 people coming to see the calendar. So there's definitely an interest and a need. We've just started doing some events in the name of Write with Community, and we did a grant writing workshop last month, and then we also visited the Whaling Museum and did, this is what I was telling you about with the poems that we wrote. So it was called She Maps the World, Poetry by Women, and we had 6 different women poets in honor of Women's History Month. And also starting to think about how to do some drop-in writing groups that are not just in person, even though that's awesome. We also wanted to be offering it online because we are a wide geographic area.
It also makes it accessible.
And it makes it more accessible. Exactly. And then this is just one of the connections that we made very recently is I don't know how many of you know, there's a large grant that is here to, now I'm going to forget the name of the park. What's the name of the park? Is it Brook Lawn Park? The one is up on the east side of New Bedford, up near Market Basket. Yes, someone's nodding. Okay, yeah. And so there's a grant that UMass Dartmouth got as part of a Blue Wave in order to be able to fix up the park, but also to do some artistic connections so that people feel connected to it. It's not just repairing the park. But so Anna Dempsey, who's the leader over at UMass Dartmouth in the art department, she put together this thing called Vestibules, Stories of Water, Memory, and Resilience. And we were just there as a table to invite people to come and write. And this is, again, one of those situations where it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a great writer. You could write 2 lines. And a lot of times it's the kids who will come over, right? And you just say, hey, do you want to write me a little story? And they love it. It's the adults that take a little bit more coaxing, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just using words for fun in a fun way and connecting with other people. Okay, so some of our vision to grow is to establish the South Coast of Massachusetts and Rhode Island as a literary hub. And that's not so much because we think we're so important, but because I know there's really good work happening here. And I want that to be able to be shared. There's a chair here if you want to come sit, Jim. Lost my train of thought again. Right. Okay. So just want to be able to share work in case people aren't seeing it. They aren't encountering the writers and the poets. Speaking of, careful, there's a huge cord here. Jim is an amazing poet. I don't know if you guys know Jim Cronin. He has two books of poetry to his name. And we also have another poet down at the other end of the table. And so we also want to be able to provide writers with resources and the path to share their written work. Some of the things we've been playing around with that we're hoping we can do in the future is, and currently, number one, the guest blogging with author bio pages, that is already happening. We have a thriving blog on our website, so I really encourage you to go and take a look. People are writing all sorts of different things. There's blogs on there about craft. There's people's stories that they're just contributing to the blog. There's some political poetry, which is really exciting. And in the works, digital prompt library, newsletter spotlight articles, member forums, and published stories pool. So some of these will just be happening as we grow naturally. We also definitely want to use tonight to say we are open. Okay, this is not our agenda. We want to be serving the writers. So if you have an idea, if there's something you want to make happen, please just reach out to us and we can see what we can facilitate. That was actually it for my presentation. Was there anything more you wanted to share before we kind of just open up a conversation?
I think it's more important just to say we're here to answer questions and provide support, ideas, and feedback.
Okay. And we are expecting Corey Newfer. I don't know if she's, like you said, she probably stuck in traffic because she's driving down here from JP. But Corey wanted to share a little bit about the impact that an organization like this can have on the South Coast, because I know that when she was living here, she no longer obviously is, but when she was living here, she really struggled to find a writing group and to find those connections. And so she's just thrilled that we're here and we're starting to make this happen. And I hope that she can share those ideas with you in person when she gets here. Yes.
Midori, can you tell us a little bit of what you do in your other role as a coach?
Yes. So I'm a certified creativity coach, and I got certified as a creativity coach about 6 years ago. And it's really about the work. It's not, you can hire a creativity coach to sort of say, please help me along in writing a book or help me along in doing whatever creative project I'm working on. That definitely does happen. But it's also about the creative thinking process, the thought process that stops you, the things that tend to block you. Why do you get writer's block? So there's a variety. There's two different websites. So everything we've been talking about tonight is on Write with Community. If you are interested in my work as a creativity coach, you can go to MidoriCreativity.com, and there's a lot on there about the different types of coaching that I offer.
Think about how much information and networking you get from the work you do with the Write community than with your coaching.
Sorry, ask me again. Like, what exactly do you?
In the learning that you feel.
Oh, yes, exactly. Yes. Very much so. Yeah, I mean, I became a creativity coach because I had decades as an educator and as an individual tutor, but I also have always been a creative person. I'm a musician, I'm a writer, I'm a photographer, I'm one of those people, just right. I like doing a lot of different things. And it made me realize that I kind of already had some of those insights into how we think and how we get blocked as a student. And then it was fascinating to start to transfer them over where we share these experiences as humans. So a lot of times creatives feel so stuck. They feel alone. It's as if they are the only person that's having this problem. And it's not. It's a universal problem. It might emerge in different ways for different people and different genres, but there's a universality in there. Yes.
So I'm not sure what the noise is. My name is Bob Unger, and I'm one of the owners of Motor Board. This is Barbara LeBlanc, who is my wife. We are both writers. I spent 10 years as the editor of the Standard Times.
Wow.
A weekly column, as in this. And Barbara's just finished a historical novel about setting Nova Scotia behavioral.
Great. Yes.
My second novel for publication.
Yay!
I'm really interested in telling you about something else, which is I started a program with a guy named Jeff Watton over at Spectrum Marketing, who is a business partner and a friend, for the kids at the Denison Memorial Community Center. And what we're doing a thing is storing count. Grades 2, 4 pretty much is the age group. Right now, we're almost over us. Occasionally, we'll have a drop in. That's because that pays. So what we're looking for, is partnering with creatives all over New Bedford. We've had illustrators, spoken word poets, that kind of stuff. And the course, that we're doing is once a week. It's Wednesday for 45 minutes. It's just a little lovely show, and it's a storyteller that is spoken word as well as written. And I work with them as coaching and all that stuff, but I would really love to have somebody from this group try to talk to these kids, maybe in a 45-minute session, and getting these young kids, and they are young, to write. Honestly, these are kids that don't get the breaks that maybe a lot of other kids just love these too. By any of you, if you want to, can I give you my email address?
Yes, and also, can somebody send down one of the cards that should be somewhere?
Anyone else
Yep.
is interested,
Yes, please, yes. You might check cards. My friend, the partner, Jeff Watt, who I mentioned, is a member of part of the song, goes to Artists Index and so on. I probably should enjoy it, and I'd like to. We need.
Can you write down his email if he says it?
We'll give you a
Okay. Oh, okay. I already got his name and everything.
Okay, all right, cool.
I'm taking notes.
So, anyway, but that's my ask. If anybody can come in and do it 2 times in a year, or 3 times in a year, for just an exercise to get my skits. Then you see is
Under?
Okay.
Just stay the times out.
Great, thank you.
And if anybody wants to know, my email address it's with Bob Unger, UNGER is my last name, but my email address is corvyunger73@gmail.com. Sir Robert V is of this.
RV.
RV Unger.
Yeah, send me at gmail.com. And I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. That's why we're here.
Thank you.
I like their black line.
What's that? Feature plan.
Right now we just
Pirates are
started
welcome
the
anytime.
Eternal August Pale Ale.
Okay.
You want to try that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll try to.
Yeah.
So, are there more questions? I'm happy to pass the mic around if anybody wants to, had something on their mind. It doesn't even have to be a question for me.
Does anyone have any ideas about what Bob Unger was talking about in terms of the majority? You have any ideas? So that sure.
Jenny, were you raising your hand? It seemed like you were.
Then I was stopping my.
Okay, she'll talk in a minute.
I do a lot of community
Jenny.
writing.
Yeah.
Oh. I do a lot of community writing pieces with students where I have them make lists of objects that they see around the room and then create little poems from that, and then they come together and they create bigger poems with other groups, so it ends up becoming a community poem in the end. And that was one thing I was thinking, in 45 minutes could easily be a very doable experience for a group of kids. So, but I'm also an expressive arts therapist. I work actually with Jane at Leslie, and it's very, the arts are about really supporting us in thinking about possibility and letting the sky not be limited about what we could possibly do. So I'm sure there's so many avenues we could go.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Other comments or questions? So, okay, I have a question for people who are here. If you had to think about something that you wished you had in a writing community in the area, what would it be? Is it workshops? Is it experiential work, like traditional workshops, experiential workshops, more places to publish your work, writing groups that are just sort of for fun? What sorts of things are people feeling like are missing?
All of the above.
All of the above. Okay, we have a lot of work to do then. Here, do you want to pass this one down and see?
It might be somewhat tied together. Screen use and writing.
Yes.
Could
Do you mean specifically for kids, or because we all are
adults,
using
for
screens
adults,
these days?
everybody.
Yeah.
to tie the use of the screen with the written word more. And for me, I'm finding that the voice activation and being able to speak and type the I used to have a secretarial pool that I do my dictations for, and to bring back my letters. And now it's almost a miracle that you can speak and have the words typed out.
Well, yes, and a lot of people who actually feel like they can't write, the minute you give them something like that, a tool like that, and you say it's not about writing, it's about your voice, all of a sudden the experience of writing feels very different. Yeah, because it's about, right? We're back to telling stories.
Yeah.
And it can be a story that is in your head. It can be a story that only shows up when you sit down in front of the computer or in front of the pad of paper. And so, Max, I'm curious what you mean about integrating it with screen time. Is it about having more long reads that are available on?
There's it seems to me sort of a movement for trying to control screen time. People are more and more aware of that.
Yep.
And those who are trying to exercise self-control, maybe using a phone as a writing instrument would be a good transference or a transition from focus of the pictures. I mean, that's what it mostly is.
Oh, I
It's
see.
pictures,
Okay.
words.
Yeah. Or stopping watching videos. Yeah. There's a lot of younger adults who are ditching their phones completely and are just going back to having pen and paper and exactly. Right. That's the simplest way to do it. The problem is, as I'm sure you're all aware of, we're now stuck with trying to reach people through a digital medium. And that's why I want to be able to have in-person gatherings that help people remember that we can connect in different ways, that we don't have to only be on Facebook, right?
I hate to grab this, but I want to reinforce what you just said, that I think there is a really important need right now in our society for more to more face-to-face contact.
Yes.
I think there is a loss of the face-to-face, a loss of social intimacy, if you will. Mm-hmm. And this is part of the problem that I think we're seeing it organically get better when we hear about the number of people who are going to your workshops. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you talk, I mean, thousands more, right?
Well, they're coming to the literary calendar to find out about opportunities, but then going to those in person for the most part. Almost everything on the calendar is an in-person event. There's a few virtual things, but not too many.
From my standpoint, until I'll turn this over to Ron if he wants it. This is free for anyone too.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're seeing, the resurgence of this kind of social face-to-face connection in all sorts of activities. Mm-hmm. I think it might be part of societal stress, because I think in many ways when people are stressed out to the extreme, they come together. Yes, that's what people do. They do come together when they're in ultimate stress. And I think that's why they're coming out. And I'm a musician. I'm doing open mics, and there seems to be open mics growing up all over the place just for music. And we have the open mics for poetry.
Yes, exactly.
And, right? And the book that combines poetry and art. So
Like our anthology.
yeah.
Yes.
So why don't I turn this over to someone else here?
Yeah, there's right there.
So it's okay to just jump in?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
That's what the salon is.
You probably all know each other, but I am brand new. Elizabeth invited me. I am new to Massachusetts. Thank you. I am.
Who you are?
Oh, okay. Well, I am the director of Mattapoisett Library. So I'm a public librarian. I'm also a novelist. I have a couple novels with Penguin Random House. And anyway, I was involved with a workshop for 20 years where I lived before, DFW Writers Workshop. And we were really, really active, and it was a really great community. And so when I saw this, I really wanted to plug in and meet other writers in the area. But thanks for having these events. That's about
Glad
it.
you're here.
Yeah.
And her name is Jenny, by the way.
Sorry, my name's Jenny Martin. Yeah.
Marshall, yes.
Oh, one last thing. I'm going to leave some of these because we recently got a story dispenser at our library. You push a button and stories come out.
Great.
But we've opened it up for submissions. You can submit your work to be
lovely.
approved to come out of the vending machine.
Did you send
spits out a printed story. It's really neat. So if
Did you
anybody,
send this to me already? Yes.
I don't
it's okay.
know if I
I'll
sent
take
this
one.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Great.
But anyway, there's that.
Thanks, Jenny.
Yeah. Thank you.
Midori, if you want, as you know,
business card.
Come on.
Get some business cards if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yes. Jenny does. She does have my email. So.
anyone else want a card? Give them that.
Great. Thank you. It's all right. I'll hold on to it. Yep. So on that note of in-person gatherings, what if you were going to go to something, let's say once a year, that had something to do with your writing? Would you prefer to be going to an event where you met other writers, or a conference type sort of thing, a one-day panel that presented new ideas in writing? What sorts of things would people be interested in going to? Because sometimes it can be hard. Like, we want the world, and then we can only build one or two things at a time. So it's just a matter of sort of trying to figure out, well, what comes first? Because I know the Hollyhock conference used to be here and is no longer. So I've heard little bits and, people have been interested in something like that. That's a huge undertaking. Doesn't mean we couldn't start to plan for something like that. And then Jenny looking for another active writing group. How big was the workshop?
We had 150 members. Yeah, we produced 300 traditionally published books among our members, but we had everyone from Just Started Nosh
Yep.
to Writing to Muncie Published.
Yep.
It was a once-a-week workshop model, and then quarterly events and an annual conference with 12 editors agency.
Okay.
But you could do even a one-day PD.
That's
Cocktail mix for
I-
that night.
Yeah, that was sort of one of the things that made sense to me, was a one-day thing to start off, but big enough that you could, yes, yeah. So we're on the same wavelength. Anybody else? I didn't want to talk the whole time. So, Jim, you got anything to say?
I think all of the ideas that have been expressed thus far are really good. And I think that I've known Midori for the last several years. She is a whirlwind, and it gets a lot of people going. And I think that people who are interested in writing will find her writing community a very interesting experience, and I'm going to look into Artists Index as well. But I think what I heard here in a very short period of time is very encouraging. And it's, I think as I thought about Midori when she started, this can't work. And of course it does.
I'm a bit stubborn, as you might imagine. So one pitch I do want to make before I don't know exactly how much time we have, and I haven't seen Corey appear yet, but we are definitely love to have people volunteer to write some sort of a blog post. And if that's something that you would like to do, it does not have to be long. It can be really short. Some people are doing 1,200 words. Some people are doing 300. So it can be on almost any topic as long as it's essentially quote unquote family friendly, right? Just something that is not going to alienate too many people. And it could be a poem you've written. It could be a commentary about something that is in your writing life. Just reach out to us and we'll plug you in on the calendar and give you instructions.
This video was proudly sponsored by the South Coast Artists Index. If you want to know more information, go to theartistindex.com.